Hey y'all. Hey Upper. Girl, I literally had to pause your replay to do this because it's getting late over here. But oh God, when I get off, I'm finna finish it. I'm so finna finish it, honey. Believe that. Like it's upper for me, honey. Believe it, believe it. All right, I'm coming, y'all. Give me 1 second. Upper says, come on, let's get it. Sean says, yo, yo, yo. Ashley, what's good, Sean? Yes, we're gonna talk about it, y'all, real quick. Okay, so I'm not gonna be on here very long. I know all of us content creators be lying. Can y'all hear me? Linda says she can't hear nothing. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. The little thing says it's like y'all can hear me. Okay, upper laughing, so that means she can hear me. Miss Linda, let me type it in the chat. Anyway, so I want to talk on this real quick, y'all. I know us content creators be lying saying we only gonna be on here for a few minutes and then child 2 hours later we be still on here talking, right? But I really want to touch on this, y'all, and I wanted to put it in the title, but I didn't want YouTube to flag me, right? What I want to talk about specifically, y'all, is the fact that Romeca was shot in the face, right? So trigger warning to those of y'all that, you might be emotional or bothered by it or it's too much or whatever, you might want to exit stage left or whatever. I was going to do this in a video, but unfortunately, y'all are a lot like me and your attention span is not very long and y'all don't be listening to the videos all the way through. Surprise, in the back office, it tells us how far or how much of the video um y'all actually listening to. So I don't want to waste my time doing a video with what I feel like is great information and then y'all don't listen to it. So maybe y'all appreciate a live stream more than a video when it comes to certain topics. And since this is a hot topic that some of us have been talking to or talking about, I figure, you know what, let's just do it in a live stream. Hey, I'm Chosen. Welcome in, baby. Um, but before I dive in, right, y'all know I told y'all a million times in one, I'm all into psychology. Honestly, that's probably why I resonate with Upper so much because she also works in the field. And one thing about people who study like social work, psychology, anything under that umbrella, shout out to the supporter. I can't remember her name right off top, but we were talking today in the comments as well. Hey, Lolita, welcome in, baby. We were going back and forth as well. And she was just like, didn't you say you were in psychology or whatever? Because she's talking about the breakdown I did on Brianna and Janelle or what have you. And yes, I confirmed I do have a degree in psychology, right? So when a lot of these stories happen, even when I was covering, Brianna and her shenanigans, and things like that, I try to look at things from the psychological standpoint for more than one reason, right? Because I feel like people would move different and reason differently if they had a better understanding for like human behavior and why things play out the way that they do and things like that. One thing I think a lot of people are missing. One thing, hey Dham, welcome in. One thing I think a lot of people are missing with this case. I'm sorry, y'all. Is my Wi-Fi going in and out? I might need to call my husband here. Can y'all hear me okay? It looks like my Wi-Fi is low. Hold on. I look like I only got one bar. Let me know, can y'all hear me? Let me move my laptop. Oh, I can't wait to get back to the States, honey. You okay? Okay, perfect, Lolita. Thank you. Y'all, please let me know if I get choppy. I'm trying to move it around a little bit because certain parts of my room is choppy. Okay. All right. So let me know in the chat, y'all, if it starts getting choppy or you can't hear me. Anyway, like I was saying, I feel like people would see things differently or respond differently or I don't know, what I'm trying to say here. If they understood that there's so many things that you can read into when it comes to certain situations, right? Like y'all have heard me, for instance, point out things when it came to like Brianna about her behavior, certain things that she does, and like how like the psychology, like how the psychology piece plays into that, right? For instance, in the video I did of her today, I was talking about how people was praising like, oh, she mom of the year because she finally showed her twins, and this is great. Like she should have been doing this and all this other stuff. And people not paying attention that Brianna only did this as a power move, right? Like it's the manipulation of it all. She felt like, who do Jonelle think he is to post the kids, even after telling her not to post the kids or whatever. So because Jonelle posted one picture, I'm finna unload the clip and post everything all the way back from birth, all the way like when they was in the NICU, all this other stuff, because basically like I threw the Joker, right? Like you ain't bigger than me, I'm top dog, right? Hey Terry, welcome in, baby. And so, when it comes to life and how situations play out, or some of these stories and things that some of us touch on or decide to blog on or whatever, like if you don't see things from all angles, right? Because to be honest, what we are witnessing with a lot of stories and bloggers and all that, like people want to make everything a fight. People want to make everything a warfare or try to prove who right, who wrong, who can make the most money, who can get the most views, all the other extra shit that doesn't matter, right? When at the end of the day, if you really could look at the full scope of things and try to get an understanding for why people are coming from the place that they're coming from, right? Like it might kind of resonate or settle some of all the chaos. But a lot of people, in all fairness, understand other people's perspectives or how people think and move, and they just don't give a damn. And I see that so much with this particular story. Hey, Open Book. Hey, Auntie Pimo. I'm in the bushes support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And Terry, thank you so much for the copyright disclaimer. So anyway, that's just like my little disclaimer for why I want to talk about this particular portion of the story, right? I've been thinking about it for a couple days. Again, I was going to put it in the title, but YouTube or platforms in general are very sensitive to titles or whatever. But this particular live, again, if you're just coming in, I want to talk about, hey, Miss White, welcome in, baby. I want to talk about specifically Romeca being shot in the face and what that means psychologically, right? So I did some digging around. Again, things matter, y'all. Body language, things that people do. A lot of time there's a symbolic meaning behind it, whether that's psychologically, morally, spiritually, whatever. And again, like I said, that's why I want to dig into this piece today, right? So I was doing some digging around because I knew that there was more to the story when it comes to shooting someone in the face and what that could symbolize, right? So I want to share with y'all what I found. Some of the stuff I found, y'all, it says, I know exactly where you're going. Exactly, Auntie Pimo. Okay, so who else just walked in? Okay, I got everybody. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about that I found, it says that shooting someone in the face typically suggests rage, hatred, or extreme emotional arousal. The face is the most human and personal part of the body, and it carries identity, emotion, and recognition, right? So I want to pause there because the first thing I thought about, I told y'all I really like true crime. Not this type of true crime, obviously, right? Like maybe it's because I've been reporting on it and it's kind of now there's a little bit of, I don't want to say emotions there, but you kind of do get attached to some of these stories when you start digging into them and reporting on them and following them and things like that. But typical true crime stories, like there are crime channels all over here on YouTube and things of that nature. Typically, the perfect example that I thought of, right? Like if you see a crime where um it was a crime of passion, for instance, right? Say a man walked in on his wife cheating, right? And he killed his wife in a crime of passion, right, where you're going to see overkill, rage, anger, things like that, you'll see like they'll say, oh, she was stabbed. There were over 100, stab wounds and things like that, right? That indicates that there was a level of emotion, high emotion, anger, passion behind the killing, right? So that is what I thought about when I saw that statement come up as it pertains to being shot in the face, right? Now, true enough, it wasn't 100 times, right? but it was a shot to the face, and that symbolizes, as I just stated, her identity, who she was as a person, right? So then it goes on to say, so when someone shoots another person in the face, it's rarely random. It often reflects a desire to erase, dominate, or dehumanize the victim on a psychological level. In cases of personal conflict, especially between two people or people who know each other, this can indicate there was personal animosity rather than self defense. Now, I know some of y'all get all touchy about self defense because it's self defense, oh, it's not self defense, or whatever. I am just reading to you guys what I found when I was doing research on this topic because I personally wanted to know, what does it really mean for somebody to shoot you in your face? That, again, going back to what I was saying with the true crime, when people, you can tell when it's a passion kill or it was, a random, right? Like, we've seen stories where, somebody got robbed, they got stabbed 1 or 2 times or something like that, and they passed away, versus I knew this person, whether we were beefing, whether we were in a relationship, whether there was some type of relationship or connection of some type, right? There was a, like in this case with Holly and Romeca, this guy was the freaking connection, right? They both had a child with him or whatever, right? So there's a lot of passion involved here. And some situations or scenarios like this, they might have called it a love triangle. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a lot of passion behind, a situation like this, whether that was somebody getting their life took, a fight, whatever, So I just wanted to point that out. Hey, welcome in, Butterfly, honey. How are you? Hey, Kim Kobe, I can see you, baby. I got my other thing open so I can see everybody. Um, so anyway, so then it says this type of action can show that the shooter was acting from a place of impulsive anger rather than calm or controlled fear. And this is true. Another point that I thought was super interesting, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Okay, I don't want to jump ahead, but y'all gonna hear it in a minute. It says, from a forensic psychology standpoint, face targeted violence often correlates with reactive aggression, meaning that the person was emotionally triggered and acting out of rage and not calculated self preservation. Again, that whole self defense piece that people keep hollering about. Hey, Tasha, welcome in, baby. That distinction matters when evaluating claims of self defense versus retaliation or vengeance, right? In criminology and behavioral profiling, violence towards the face is sometimes interpreted as an attempt to destroy or silence the person's identity, to literally and symbolically remove their ability to be seen or to speak, right? And this was an aha moment for me because, of course, people are giving their takes on like TikTok and other platforms. And I remember, I want to say it was a guy, I'm not sure, but he started the TikTok saying when she shot that girl in the face, she wanted to make sure that her family gave her a closed casket funeral. And I was like, wow, like that's so crazy. Like, because not only are you taking a life, right? Because you're in fear, self defense, whatever y'all want to put on that, whatever way you want to spin that or whatever, right? But again, you shot somebody in the face. Yeah, most likely they're going to have a closed casket funeral. Like, how do you fix that? You know what I'm saying? And it just was an aha moment for me, like, wow, again, which made me more interested in digging into like, oh, why, like, what is the real psychological meaning behind shooting someone in their face? Butterfly says, yes, often crimes involving stabbing, strangulation, shots to the face often deal with some type of personal passion, in my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it goes on to say it can signal an intent to degrade the victim or express dominance. This form of violence is often deeply personal and emotional and not purely physical. In legitimate self defense situations, most people instinctively shoot towards the torso. That was the part that I was about to jump ahead of earlier. I'm gonna say it again. In legitimate, hey Miss Foxy, welcome in, baby. In legitimate self-defense situations, most people instinctively shoot toward the torso because it is the largest target, and the goal is to stop the threat efficiently. And I thought, like, that makes sense, right? Because here I am thinking, if I'm in a situation, right, where it's fight or flight, I feel like my life is in danger. Let's say someone broke into your house, you know what I'm saying? You only got a few minutes, a few seconds, or whatever to get your weapon to defend yourself. I'm not going to get out of my bed and aim for their face per se. To be honest with you, I'm just going to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Now, and to be in all fairness, of course, the bullet or the shot could land wherever. But ideally, like someone being in an altercation and I don't have any personal connect, there's no passion behind it, there's no anger or rage, I'm not going to shoot somebody in the face. You know what I'm saying? So that is the point that I wanted to make with this. Everybody, I think I got everybody. Okay, yes, you guys, please, yes, hit the like for me, y'all. So then I kept reading, and it says shooting someone in the face in forensic psychology often aligns with anger driven or retaliatory motives and not defensive ones. And that is why investigators look closely at shot placement when assessing the mental and emotional state of the shooter. And these are things that are going to come up, y'all, because again, this is an open investigation. And of course, at some point, Miss Holly, whether y'all want to believe it or not, she gonna have to stand before a judge and explain herself. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that investigators are going to look at. And I think people don't realize that. When a person is shot in the face, it often suggests that the victim was already immobilized, injured, or down. So if the shooter continued firing, it typically reflects anger, intent to finish, or overkill. Again, I was like, wow, which is all the things that I feel like people who are genuinely reporting for justice for Romeca are saying, which is why so many people have passion behind it. Shout out to Upper. Like Upper be taking me out, okay? But like when you read stuff like this, right? And that's the thing, right? I can honestly say, like, I tried so hard to stay away from this, and this is why I didn't want to touch on it at all because I knew that it would be very touchy, and I just knew how I would feel. What is boggling for me with all of this, right? All of these content creators that are touching on it that are a part of the sector or was a part of the LaTruth sector, right? We all know how it feels to be harassed, bullied, followed. Some of us were followed, pictures making of us, our families were posted, like our freaking privacy was invaded to the utmost, right? For whatever reason. Oh, they don't like your opinion, they don't like you, they called you names, you know, or whatever. So it's mind blowing to me to say that in so many words, right? And this is just the way that I hear some of the commentary or just some of the snide comments or like people thinking shit's funny and all the other extra shit. Like for me, is how do I want to say this? It's mind blowing, right? Because true enough, none of us want to be bullied, right? And we've all said that if somebody, you know, if we feel attacked or we got to defend ourselves, we will defend ourselves, right? But there's a difference in defending yourself and overly killing someone. And there's so many levels to this story, you know, where they were saying that Romeca did retreat or the guy put her in the car and all this other stuff. Of course, we will eventually find out all the real details of what actually happened because there's so many scenarios and conspiracies floating around. But at the end of the day, right, take all of that out of it, right? No beef online, whether it's over a dude or not, whether it's over the LaTruth saga or not, whether it was the couple on the strip in Vegas or not, right? Is you cannot justify taking someone's life to that extent because you was beefing about anything. Point blank and period. Especially, I heard Upper in the part of her live that I have heard so far. I think I'm like halfway. She was saying that there is no justification, right? Like there is nothing that you can say, and this is my opinion. Before I just want to say that because people, oh, it's not facts. You wasn't there. Blah blah blah. Hey, Ebony, welcome in, baby. Hey, Hattie. All of that, right? Hey, Danny, welcome in, baby. Make sure I ain't missing nobody. Hey, Kimberly, welcome in, baby. Um, there is no justification, y'all. We've all been harassed, we've all been bullied and all of that. But it really makes me wonder, right? And the crazy part is the main people that's trying to defend Holly or whatever have I'm gonna just move on because I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to be funny. I would just move on. But I think that's the most mind boggling part for me with this whole situation. Like, we know how it feels on both sides of the coin, right? There are some of us who have should have been protected more legally when it comes to harassment and bullying, and we were not, right? So, in the event that we run into these people, right? Some of us have seen these people in real life and ain't shit popped off. You know why? Because beef ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care whether it was two baby mamas fighting over a dude, or, like even the crap with Brianna and LaTruth. Brianna done told some dangerous lies on LaTruth and got off and got away with it, and no legal anything was done. You know what I'm saying? So when people start throwing up like, oh, it was a protection order, it was this, it was that, it was, first of all, and shout out to Ebony. I saw Ebony somewhere in some comments, and she was like, we're not gonna pretend like people don't get bogus ass protection orders. And that's a fact. That's a freaking fact. I'm telling you. I told y'all before that I had a friend that we no longer was friends, and I was trying to fix some shit with her, and emailed her after I felt like it was a cool off period, and the bitch went and got a protection order on me because she didn't want me to email her. Then I go to court and the bitch didn't show up, so they dismissed it. So the crazy part for me, right, is like, people are acting like this is a case that doesn't happen day to day, right? People and baby mamas and baby daddies fight all the time, y'all. All the time. Niggas ain't shit, okay? Niggas be real life hoes out here sleeping with multiple women, having women pull up. I just saw a TikTok, and I'm still debating if I even want to share it because I thought about doing commentary on it or whatever. But there's a girl pregnant as hell sitting in the hospital talking about she finna call this man wife because he been telling her that he was gonna leave her, and now she in labor or whatever, and she trying to call him and he won't come up there. So I'm gonna call his wife. I think I'm gonna call his wife. What y'all think I'm gonna do? What y'all think I should do? And I'm hoping that she just bullshitting and clickbaiting, because you could get your damn life took. You literally in the hospital finna give birth to a baby by a nigga you knew was married. She knew he was married. They've been messing around for years, apparently, off and on. And she says she's had 4 abortions by this same nigga. Because he told her, oh, abort the baby because I want us to be married when I get you pregnant. But this one, she finally decided to have. Right? So that's just another example, y'all, of how situations like this play out like this all the time. It still does not give nobody the right to take somebody's life. It's crazy to me, right? Like people saying, I heard Upper saying like, oh, like they were asking like, well, why she turn around? Why she do this? Why she do that? Da, 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 right? Take some of these situations, for instance, George Floyd, right? So many questions could be asked about that whole situation, right? And we know his life was taken unjustly, and the man, they called it justice, but whatever, right? The cop got what he got with that situation. But if we're really going to sit here and try to play like, oh, well, why did Romeca do this? Why did Romeca? We could do the same thing in that situation or any other situation where somebody's life was taken unjustly or unfairly. We could really sit here and say, well, why did he argue with the cop? Well, why did he go in the store? Well, why did he do this? And why did he like, and that's the thing for me when people try to play like, this situation is so like this is a different story, or this is something that don't happen all the time every day. People is not shooting down they nigga other baby mama in the face in the middle of the street. That's not normal, y'all. That's not normal. I don't care what way you spin it. I don't care. And I think I heard some, I think it was in Swipe's video. I heard her say that people have said even in the saga or like online, pull up, pull up, pull up. Yes. And in the saga, I've seen that, and I've seen it on Facebook, and we've seen people's life get taken. But does it justify it? Does it justify it though? Because somebody said pull up, because they pull up, or they ran up on you, or you was popping shit or whatever, you get to shoot them in the face? Like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Hey, Miss Divine. Let's say welcome in, baby. Wow, that's crazy ass. Yes, butterfly is just the whole thing is crazy to me. Right. And if she know how to fight, just if she know to just fight, that proves she won't see it. That's what I'm saying. And that's the other thing. And I said this in I think it was another live or a video I did. I think it might have been the last video I did about it. I was just saying that maybe it was a live, but I was saying just that. It's like with this self-defense piece, y'all not even looking at, they're going to look at was this reasonable, y'all. Romeca didn't have a pistol, as far as we know. So what was the point of you going back and retreating to go get a gun? And then you look at the two girls that to me they look about the same size. So again, she couldn't even say like she felt threatened because of Romeca's size. I never heard anybody say Romeca had any type of weapon, like not even a bat or like a bag or you know what I'm saying. Like there was, and again, we will see what happens when it all plays out, y'all. But the thing I think that people are missing, right, is the self defense piece. Is it's almost to me when I hear people holler self-defense, it's just like when I watch these true crime stories and people holler, "Oh, I was insane. I blacked out. I don't know what happened." Right? And then you find out later when they check the search history and all type of shit, they was looking up how to get away with murder, basically. Like, oh well, if I say this or if I say that, like they'll fix the story, the narrative to fit what they're trying to claim. Right. And so what I think is so crazy about this story with Romeca, right? Us as black people, we really think like that we can put our own definition on what shit mean for us in our situation as if there's not a law for everybody to follow. That's crazy as shit. Self-defense is self-defense. Stand your ground is stand your ground. For Florida though, this is Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I even looked up the Chicago laws. I've also, again, shout out to Upper. I listen to all of Upper's takes on the case. I'm sorry. Y'all can call me biased. That's cool. But I just like her take because what I can appreciate, right? What what I can appreciate about Upper, right? Because y'all probably gonna feel like I'm glazing her. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. This how I feel, right? I would prefer to hear somebody that's gonna speak for one, like they got some fucking sense, right? Is Upper passionate? Sure, of course. But what I hear Upper refer to a lot is, well, we heard this from Key's platform, or we saw this in this statement, or we saw this in black and white. Okay, the Illinois law says this. I've heard her literally read laws and regulations as it pertains to this case. And that's what I respect because I want to hear what it say. You know what I'm saying? Not just, oh, well, she pulled up. She shouldn't have turned around. What would you do? Da 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 da. We could sit here and play coulda, shoulda, woulda all day long, y'all. That don't matter because what all of us really got to be honest about is if you was in a situation, you don't know what you would do. To be honest, what I do know though is if your ass was in Illinois and you shot up down 3 times in the street, 1 time in the face, you will be in the same predicament. You may not be on YouTube being discussed by vloggers, but you definitely will be facing some of the same legal parameters. They're going to look at this case, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. Just a few weeks ago, do y'all realize Trump had the freaking ICE busting down doors in Chicago over fucking warrants? Y'all really think they're not gonna take this case serious and look into it and investigate and find out all of this? I just read it to y'all. Investigators look at all of this when it comes to trying to determine whether this person really exemplified behaviors of being in fear. And it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me because the thing that y'all got to realize with a lot of these people that's calling themselves bloggers and all this other shit and being funny and trying to, yeah, child, y'all been watching it, I'm sure, or hearing about it, right? The thing about all of this, hey, none of them got the balls enough to break the same law. I promise you, they not shooting nobody down in the street 3 times, one in the face, and then bringing their ass on YouTube bragging about it or making a joke out of it or making a mockery out of it. They're also not going to come on here with this same energy if it was their sister or their mama or their cousin that got gunned down in the street. None of these scenarios would fucking matter if it's their family member. I can assure you it wouldn't matter. And the crazy part is, right, I feel like people who are on any side, right, Holly, Romeca, since everybody got to make everything about sides or whatever. Again, I just told y'all why I respect and listen to Upper's perspective because she comes with facts and laws about Illinois. Upper also lives in Chicago. Hello? She live in Chicago, right? So people really could take some of y'all serious as bloggers or whatever you want to call yourself, right? If you will come from a factual standpoint and stop all this niggadom talk. Like I just made up a word, but y'all get it, right? Like y'all talking like black people. Like y'all talking to me like street talk. Like, oh well, if a person say this, then I'm gonna do that or whatever. Me and Amber was having a dialogue just yesterday, and it was a respectful dialogue. She was saying, she tried to compare it to the Carmelo case, and she was like, y'all being hypocritical, and y'all just, I forgot. I think she said like we was okay with it because Carmelo took out someone who was Caucasian. And like, what was the difference? So I explained to her what I thought the difference was, and I'll explain it to y'all. In that scenario, Carmelo hit the victim one time. Carmelo also ran, which to me, in my brain, right? Somebody do something, take off running. What that mean, y'all? What that mean? They scared, right? Which are factors that people look at when it comes to self-defense cases. Point blank and period, y'all. You ain't seen Carmelo on here flexing for the gram. You ain't seen Carmelo on here promoting his OnlyFans. You ain't seen Carmelo on here popping off and taking shit, talking shit. You ain't seen none of that. You saw a scared little boy who ran off, then comes back to the scene and admits he did it and asked if the victim was okay. He didn't even know he had took that boy's life. That was the difference, y'all. It had nothing to do with race, right? And I don't want to go too far left, but this is where I feel like us as a Black people be missing the mark with a lot of things, whether it's these type of cases or political shit, right? Because we like to follow the masses. We don't like to do the work ourselves, right? We like to sit back and try to say, oh, this is racism, or this is not racism, or this is police brutality, or this is, and I was just telling my husband this, it's amazing to me, like, right now, I do believe that there's a lot of police brutality, right? But I have also seen a number of videos, and y'all may not like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it because it's the truth. I've seen a number of videos, right? Hey, Sabrina, welcome in, baby. I've seen a number of videos, y'all, where there are innocent traffic stops. Your tail light out. You ran a stop sign. You blah blah blah. And us as Black people will sit there and argue and escalate the situation more and more and more and more, and then shit go left. So if we could be honest in situations, right, and stop trying to say like, oh, we just trying to play the Black card or everybody racist or whatever. Like, I get it. Y'all have a narrative when it comes to certain situations, but I feel like you gotta make it make sense, y'all. That situation with Carmelo and that child, Austin, that was not about race. Some people made it about race. It was right versus wrong. Another scenario that to me, it fits self-defense compared to this Romeca case. In the Carmelo case, it was two brothers, y'all. Two brothers. It is very much possible he felt attacked, backed into a corner, scared, all of those things that fit into a self-defense case, y'all. And again, me and Amber had very respectful dialogue or whatever, and it was what it was. We end up laughing at the end of it all. But I just wanted to point that out to y'all, that was not an example of us as us Black people who are for justice for Romeca. That is not an example of people being hypocritical. That's not being hypocritical. That's a scenario of right versus wrong. And again, that's another case that is under investigation that we just got to sit back and wait and see how it play out. But that is not the same comparison to Romeca. He didn't stab Austin in the face. You know why? You know why? I just read it to y'all. Because he had no personal ties to Austin. This was literally like, in my opinion, a freak accident. Because I'm sure, yeah, he had a weapon on him, but I think it was because he lives in Texas, baby. I'm a Black woman who lived in Texas before I moved to Germany. Baby, let me tell you something. They ain't for us down there. So I'm not shocked that that baby had a weapon on him. He's a senior in high school, which means he either 18 or close to 18, which means he is a grown Black man, or he would be. So knowing his parents, and I ain't even going to hold you, I would probably tell my kids the same thing. Matter of fact, I was just talking about how I was talking about getting her like a taser or pepper spray or whatever, because we finna come back to the States, and it's hell on wheels. It's a lot of hell going on in the States right now. I'm very much aware of it, right? So if my daughter was in Carmelo's situation and she had a weapon on her and she had to protect herself because it's two siblings that think they finna jump on her or messing with her, they done initiated some shit and something pop off, then something pop off, period. So that was what I wanted to say, was that that was a difference in a what a case that looks like, in my opinion, okay? I ain't the law. In my opinion, that looks like a self-defense case. And then just listen at all the factors. There were actual witnesses. The brother was getting tied up, changing up the story, all this other stuff. That is a self-defense case in my eyes. Not two baby mamas fighting over whatever they, and we don't even know if that's true. People were saying that they was fighting over a nigga. Ain't no telling what happened. I've also heard that she wasn't even talking to Holly. I heard she was talking to her dude. And Holly got involved. Again, we got to wait and see how it all played out. But whatever the scenario was, you can't say, first of all, self-defense looked weird in this situation even more because Carlos was not on Romeca's side, honey. He was with Holly. He was with Holly. So how would it be so you mean to tell me the two of them was afraid of Romeca? Like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's be for real here. Let me catch up on the comments. Let me see who I miss. Hey Brina Boo 410. What's up, baby? Ebony says Upper actually went and walked the area and crime scene, and she did. Kim says it's a heavy burden to carry when you take a life. Yes, Kim, and that's my thing too. I'm glad you said that, because for her to be making jokes and promoting her OnlyFans and all that, like, girl, listen, baby, I would have deactivated all my shit. I would have been cool on social media. Because let's be real, if the facts that we're hearing, well, I can't say facts because they're not verified, right? We still waiting. But based on what we hearing, like they were saying that there was some back and forth with them online at some point and all that, baby, I would want nothing to do with online, because I would feel like that escalated the situation to a point where I had to take somebody's life. Just being honest, y'all. I ain't gonna get on here and pop shit and get back on here and promote my OnlyFans and all that. Like, and it's crazy. And I got some more notes that it said on here. I'm gonna read them to y'all in a second. Upper, keep up the great work. Period. Sabrina, hey baby. Miss Foxy said they scared. Exactly. He was scared. I'm gonna have to look up the Carmelo case because I didn't see that. Yes, and Ebony, I actually have a little short playlist on my page about it. I was following it for a while, and right now, the last I've heard, they're just waiting on the trial. Hey, Brittany Tyner, welcome in, baby. Ebony says yes, they scared if they take off running. Yeah. Facts. Miss White says very good point on the Carmelo case. Yep. And he was close enough. And he was. Mahogany says it's sad how they treat you even after your death. You gone now, but the hate got even stronger. And that's the thing, Mahogany. I'm glad you said that, because I do want to elaborate on that too, right? I can respect people's opinion, right? Even if I don't agree with it. I told y'all before, I've gotten to a point in my life, like when I feel like I can't agree with the commentary, or I feel like something is going to trigger me, I just disengage, right? I don't got to be disrespectful. I don't got to do none of that. I just remove myself, right? The thing that I think is making this whole case so heated and outrage is the disrespect, right? And people trying to act like they don't know that they're being disrespectful. And I think that's the problem, right? We're all grown adults and we know when we being disrespectful as fuck, period. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is what's making people who are really, truly wanting to see justice on whatever side, I think that is what is infuriating the whole entire situation. And this is why I said on my community wall a couple weeks ago, I am so sick and tired of social media on all platforms. And I mean that from my gut, for real, because it don't take all that. You can say your opinion, you can stand on your opinion, but to make a mockery, laugh about it, be funny, make little snide comments, try to agitate people, be antagonistic about it, laugh about what your point is, and all, like, that's where you cross the line. That's where it looks like you being disrespectful to the dead. That's where it appears, right? Like you making fun of the fact that somebody lost their life. And I think that's where a lot of people start feeling away. So the point that people are saying, like, oh, people getting emotional. Yeah, people getting emotional because let's be real here, y'all. Yeah, we're not related to Romeca, right? But we have all lost somebody in our family at some point. A grandmama, a cousin, a brother, a spouse, a sister, somebody in our family, right? So we know what it feels like to have to grieve the loss of somebody. Grief is already hard, y'all. And especially when it comes unexpected over nonsense in the streets by our own culture. So to come on here and laugh and be funny and pick and poke and do this and say this and make little comments and all that, like all that silly shit, or trying to make a competition, or trying to, that is where I feel like people are getting riled up because it's unnecessary. You could very well do your commentary, present your what you feel like is facts or what you seen or what you heard, and get the fuck off. You ain't gotta say nothing smart. You ain't gotta be funny. You ain't gotta say, well, this person shouldn't have did that. Because then now you sound like you being condescending. It sounds judgmental, right? When you tell somebody what they should or shouldn't have done, which is crazy because us as black people love to say, oh, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me to do shit, right? But then you come on here and you say you're a blogger. That's what some of y'all claiming, right? Blogging, y'all bloggers and all that shit, right? Bloggers understand levels of professionalism. Bloggers understand that there is a code of conduct that you should present yourself regardless of how you feel. Okay? I read Brianna her fucking rights today because I thought what she did today, or whatever day it was, she dropped all them fucking photos of her baby now. I thought that shit was corny. I didn't have to call her one bitch. I didn't have to call her no hoe. I ain't have to talk about her appearance. I ain't have to laugh. I ain't have to be disrespectful. I ain't have to talk about her house. I ain't have to talk about what she should and shouldn't have done or whatever. I read her rights for the situation at hand, period. And I got the fuck on. And that's it. I'll be dropping other content tomorrow because I said what I had to say. That's it, and that's all. Some people make shit worse and then get mad because people don't want to agree with the disrespect. It's disrespectful, y'all. It's disrespectful, and it's crazy because it's not worth the karma you're reaping on your life. You got to lose somebody one day. The crazy part is people who doing it, y'all got kids. Y'all got kids. What if somebody took you from your baby over some fucking petty beef, over your baby daddy, over some us arguing on YouTube? How would you feel? It's wrong, y'all. I'm sorry. It's wrong. And you know it's wrong because if it was your family and it don't, y'all listen. People can pretend like they don't understand, but y'all understand just fine. Y'all understand just fine. It is wrong. You would not like it. And I think, did I hear I think it was Sabrina. I think it was Brina. I saw a Brina video today. And if y'all didn't check it out, please check it out. I love me some Brina, baby. Brina, baby, listen. The New York came out today. Okay, check out Brina video. I think it's called "The World Is Evil" or something like that. Right? She had pointed out. Damn, I don't see. I done gave her props so much. I forgot what point I was going to make. Damn it, it'll come back to me. But the point I was trying to say, y'all, is that you wouldn't like it. I think that's where I was going with it. And then prior to Brina's videos today, I saw a couple of days ago, or maybe a day or two ago, she was saying that she lost someone to, I want to say, to gun violence or something similar, right? So again, y'all don't even understand, right? Y'all come on here making jokes and being funny and laughing and because it's a game. Like who right, who wrong, who know what they talking about, who don't, who got facts, who don't, what witnesses are legit, which are not. Y'all talking about all type of shit. To me, that don't matter. It really reminds me of the Truth Saga. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Oh, I don't like your commentary. Let me dig up some old ass messages or some you did 55 years ago or some shit like that. It's just so irrelevant, and I don't understand why people do that and then think that they're bloggers because that shit has nothing to do with it. You don't see Tasha K doing that. She report the story. She get the hell on. Somebody else in the lineup for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But to dig and try to dehumanize somebody or try to point, like go out of your way to make somebody look bad just so that your narrative can stand, to me, says it all. To me, it don't take all that. You can say what you got to say, and that word alone will be enough. That's it, y'all. That's it. It's just crazy to me. Miss Divine says, in Texas, they are very biased when it comes to color, and they say, absolutely. It's predominantly white neighborhood. Exactly, Pimo. Hey, everybody. James Brown. Welcome in, baby. Not James Brown. I'm dead. I'm sorry. I don't know why that was so funny to me. Kim Colby says, definitely need to start teaching this new generation self-control. Everything should not be solved with a weapon. Right, scary. What your scary is. Be arguing just so you go, oh, I got a weapon. Oh, I'm licensed. I'm licensed to carry. Girl, shut your scary ass up. and get your ass knocked out like your pops used to. When Devo said that shit on Friday, child, that tripped me out. Hey Cheryl, welcome in, baby. Ebony says, then also how you out with your baby and man, he can't protect you. And that's another thing, Ebony. People wanna, they better hope, Holly. The ones that screaming, Holly, 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 baby, y'all better hope. Y'all better hope she get off. Cause what y'all don't understand, if she don't get off, she might catch another charge for child endangerment because her child was there. Who the fuck shooting another bitch in the face in front of their child? That is traumatic as fuck. Oh my God. Like, that is so extreme. When me and my husband want to argue, bitch, we wait till the kids go to bed. Like, no bullshit. We wait till they go to sleep. The fuck? Or argue over text messages and shit. My daughter asked me the other day, was you and dad arguing? He was standing in the middle of the store texting. And we was. Now mind your business. Anyway. Miss Lady says, yes, they being very disrespectful. Yes. And I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with. And again, it goes back to like I was doing the breakdown on my other live about upper or whatever. I was saying that sometimes when a person feels like they're being challenged or they're being intentionally offended, right? Then they're going to be equally offensive. Like, oh, okay, you want to be disrespectful and offensive? Then I'm going to say this. You know what I'm saying? And they don't make it right, but it is what it is, y'all. Sabrina says, I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna act up when it comes to disrespecting. You ain't lying. That's why I was in the girl. I was weak. Your video, listen. I was like, because I felt all of that. It could not be my family member. I promise you, I would be ignorant as fuck. Oh God, I would have caught some charges by now. I would have caught some charges by now. I promise you. This ain't shit funny about shooting down my family member in the street. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, the disrespect and Q having no remorse for taking her son's brother's mother. Yeah, laughing. Tell some shit hit his backyard. It's crazy. Ashley Boy Mom says, yes, the disrespect. Let me see. Saying Romeca was a free body was just disrespectful. Wow. Wow. Meanwhile, this bitch is promoting her OnlyFans. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna just leave that right there. Brittany Tyner says, yes, Ashley C, that's so cruel and mean and distasteful. It shows disrespect to the family. Yes, it's definitely hard to get over a loved one who is no longer here. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Just have some and that's what I'm saying. And I've spoke about this multiple times on my platform on multiple topics and different things that has happened and transpired here on the app. People don't know when enough is enough. People don't know when it's too far. Like, they don't understand boundaries, right? Like, why not understand, like, you know what, maybe this is a little too much. Maybe I shouldn't say this, right? Because the crazy part is some of y'all on here try to be funny and be disrespectful or snooty towards a particular content creator, and you're hurting a lot of people in the midst of that. You're hurting supporters. You don't know, y'all can have supporters in y'all chat that lost a family member in the same way. Y'all can have supporters in the chat that's still grieving over someone that they lost years ago in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing. Y'all hear the quote or y'all seen the quote most times. I know y'all have heard it and seen it. And it says, sometimes you will bleed on other people that didn't even cut you. You feel like you've been hit, or you feel like somebody shading you, or you feel like somebody dismissing your point of view or not agreeing with your opinion. So now you want to be shady and disrespectful to the family of the deceased. What the fuck did Romeca family do to you? And the crazy part is, it may not even be your intention, but when you don't have no self-control and you don't have no content creator etiquette, you know what I'm saying, you start getting into petty mode, which is exactly why this whole story happened anyway. A motherfucker felt the way for whatever reason. They got into it and somebody took another person's life. That's not okay, y'all. People need to learn how to exercise self-control. When you find yourself in situations that you can't handle or you don't agree with, remove yourself. Then that way you're not tempted to shade nobody. You're not tempted to attack nobody or none of that. It's insane. Kim Colby said, too many right fighters for me. Right. And the crazy part is, don't nobody even know all the facts because the shit's still under investigation, which is crazy because regardless of who you want justice for, you could be fucking up the case because you want to be in a petty content creator war on YouTube. Like, imagine that. Unchosen says the saga show how so many black women don't give a fuck about the deceased. Not much surprised me anymore. Same weakness, but a different saga story. Absolutely, Unchosen. You took the words right out of my mouth. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm not gonna lie. And again, I was just having this conversation with my husband. Um, I told him, I said, me being a content creator on YouTube, right? Just going through the LaTruth saga and all that, the last few years, whatever, it has taught me so much about life in general. Right. One thing I've learned, and I wish all of y'all would understand and learn, ain't nobody loyal to nobody. Motherfuckers is loyal to themselves. Hello? People are loyal to their self. People are going to do what they feel like is in their best interest at the time. I don't know what else y'all need to see to understand that, because that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. And we get wrapped up and we think people supposed to be loyal to us. And here's another case. We just saw it happen with the LaTruth saga. Fallouts, people attacking each other, doxing each other, following each other, pulling up, driving by the house, all type of shit, right? Now we on a whole nother story. It's the same shit unfolding all over again about a family none of us fucking know. Imagine that. Muggs is intentionally being nasty and cruel to people that they rock with or used to rock with because of a story. And nobody even know the real details. Because it's haha, it's funny. Oh, like my narrative was the best one tonight. Haha. People believe me today. Oh, my receipts look better than yours today. I'm gonna spend all my fucking life instead of clocking in a government that's fucking shut down. Some of y'all blessed and getting fucking paid. Okay, I ain't seen a check shit in like a month. To be honest with y'all, and I still gotta get up, take my ass to work, and have a good attitude about it, and have some good morale. Cause ain't shit I could do about it but show up. Cause that's my job. Y'all got jobs, and y'all spending time either on the job or not working at all. Hey, Creisha, baby, welcome in. Y'all spending time on y'all job or at the job or calling out, whatever the fuck, because some of y'all don't believe work. I'm sorry, it's not possible. The much shit y'all keep online, it's not possible that y'all work. I'm sorry. Right? But y'all spending y'all precious time to come on here and antagonize and taunt people about this fucking case, just in an attempt to approve or one up somebody, or to try to prove that your point is better than somebody else's. Instead of just coming on here, stating your opinion, showing whatever receipts you feel like you have, and moving the fuck on. Do some other content. Y'all can't even mix it up. That shit's crazy. Mahogany says that lady too old for that. I sure wouldn't let her. No, you have no respect for Romeca's mother. What if the shoes were on the foot? Oh, child. I can only imagine you talking about, honey. Yeah, the coverage is triggering. Exactly, Pimo. And that's why I just disengage. I don't. I do like upper style. And then she was saying that Keys has been making some really good points, and he's the one that's been producing a lot of receipts and things like that. So I'm gonna go check out his platform later. But I'm telling you, if anything is triggering, I remove myself, because I need you to speak facts, not street talk. I don't want to hear nigga talk. I'm sorry. Well, if it was me, y'all know if it was y'all. Da, 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 da. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Okay. Don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. Brittany says, I try to think about the good memories of my loved ones. I think about the happy times, even though I get sad, especially around the holidays. And see, that's something else. I'm glad you said that, Brittany Tyner, because people making a mockery out this case. It's holiday time, y'all. This little boy got to go through Christmas and Thanksgiving without his mom. But y'all want to win on YouTube. That shit is crazy. Mahogany says these people are heartless. Absolutely. Yes, it was wrong on all levels. I agree, Miss Lady. Kim Kobe says definitely gonna sit on the front row one day, and I'm here to tell you all it is life changing. It is, Kim Kobe. It is. The people who doing it is wrong too. Absolutely, Miss Lady. Sabrina says that's why I knew I couldn't do the story, because it hit too close on. That's why I'm saying, Sabrina. And I can't even relate on that level to the story. But as a human, y'all, as a human, I understand how fragile life is. There is no fucking way. There is no way. I don't play with the deceased. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing you can say or do where I'm gonna sit here and make fun of no deceased, or try to pick on the fact that you lost somebody or something just because I'm mad at you. That ain't never been in me. Never been in me. That's okay. Only difference is it was a black male, same gun violence triggered. See? And I'm so sorry for your loss, Sabrina. Like truly. I can't even imagine, y'all. I can't even imagine. It's just crazy. Some oh man. I just the other day, I don't want to say who it is because I don't know if she want that type of attention. But it's somebody that I met throughout the saga. And she was sharing something with me that was very personal and she was in tears and I was in tears with her. Life is so precious, y'all. And y'all think it's a game. And that's what's wrong with people, y'all. Y'all think because it ain't happened to you, it can't happen to you. Y'all understand these people finna get their food stamps cut off on the first. People losing a Section 8 that's been on Section 8 10, 20 years. Do you understand you could be at the right place at the wrong time and get your life snatched? Would you like to be coverage for the next week, 2 weeks, 2 months? Well, people want to justify, well, she shouldn't have took her ass to Walmart. Why the fuck was she out at 7 o'clock? Like, come on, y'all. Put yourself in these people's place. It doesn't matter. It's a life took way too soon over foolishness. Y'all don't even understand the danger that's all around you right now because people losing their means of support. People are losing their means of dependency that they've had for years. And y'all on YouTube talking about it, laughing about it. And then because people don't want to go along and laugh with you or make fun or pick a side, then it's like, oh, like it's a problem or people turning on me or people not loyal. Loyal to what exactly? Loyal to the fact that you disrespecting the dead? That's what you want people to be loyal to? Like, come on, y'all. Um, let's see. Mahogany says death could be at anyone's door. Can't say it. Well, you just never know. That's what I'm saying. Baby, you could go to sleep tonight and not wake up. And it ain't even gotta be in that type of way. Sabrina says, lied and said my cousin had a pew pew and shot him through the car. Unbelievable, Sabrina. Wow. Upper says, I actually said this recently. Our audience is predominantly black. A lot of our people have dealt with gun violence. So to make a joke of it and blame the victim is disgusting. Upper, and especially in Chicago. We already know what time it is in Chicago. You ain't even got to live there. The shit is crazy. It's crazy. Sabrina says, thank y'all. I know exactly how Romeca family feel because the anger and grief will have you needing an asylum. I'm telling you. Trust me, I know. I'm telling you because I'm crazy about mine. I am crazy about mine. Um, Sabrina says, done show my natural black behind. I'm gonna be good for the rest of the day. Girl, I was telling my kids about you. I was like, y'all, I was listening to Sabrina today, y'all. She from New York too. And it's so funny because to me, Brina, like, Brina is so intelligent and so like well poised when she does her commentary till she get mad. Then she get ignorant. And I'm just laughing because I'm the same way. That's the only time you find out I'm from New York, baby. Don't piss me off. Baby, please. Mahogany says Holly has unresolved trauma and took that on Romeca. Even Carlos, nothing but a warlock. And the crazy part is, didn't they say he broke up with her? Go figure. Ashley Boy Mom says, then hollering bullying, shake my head when no, if anybody being bullied, it's the witnesses. We all heard what we heard in those videos and they mad they spoke up for her. And that's my thing, right? So, you know what? I don't even know if I really want to comment on that bullying shit because it really reminds me of the Brianna. Child, I'm gonna just let that go because I don't listen. Ooh, baby, people like to throw certain words around. And when you say bully, it's like a trigger word for a lot of people. So when people hear or feel like someone's being bullied, it kind of flicks a light on for a lot of people. Like, oh no, someone's being bullied. You know what I'm saying? So things are set. Certain words and things are triggers, and they're purposely used for certain reactions. That's what I'm gonna say about that. I I can't say that Holly's not being bullied. What I can say is I have not seen it. I'm sorry. I haven't seen it personally, but whatever. Ebony says, like, how are you gonna call Carlos your boy, but disrespecting the deceased baby mama to the fullest? Oof, child. I listen. I had to click off her live the other day, Upper's live when he got up there. I listened to it for a little while, But when matter of fact, it was when you got on the panel, Ebony. I didn't like how he was talking to you. Like, he wouldn't let you get a word in. You kept asking questions. He was getting all weird. And I was like, okay, so now we know that was she's striking a nerve. Hey, Mika, welcome in, baby. That's like, I had to click off that one because I was like, nah, he got to go. They don't care. I will never enter some of the supporters' chats that I used to. Very insensitive. I agree, Miss Lady. I totally agree and I respect it. Right, make sense. Ebony says, "Why go get a TPO if you're going to if you aren't going to exercise it? You call the police because we do know for sure she could have done that. Even while Carlos was fighting with Romeca, that was the perfect time. Absolutely, I agree, and that's what I said. I think I said that on somebody comment too. No, it was somebody commented after when me and Amber was having a dialogue. Somebody else, like another supporter, comment. Matter of fact, I think it was that April 2025 girl, if I remember right. And she was like, I don't know, trying to defend the whole self-defense crap with Holly, like whatever. And I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, the law states that you neutralize the threat, you call the police. The crazy part, people not even realizing, right? If this hey Lisa Smith, welcome in, baby. How you been? I haven't seen you forever. The thing I wanted to point out, right, with this whole, oh, she had a TPO, so she's justified. No, she's not. Not under Illinois law, right? Because she could defend herself. She could have popped Romeca once, enough to neutralize the threat. Now, if Romeca had this TPO that everybody talking about or whatever, right? The smart thing to do, right? Not street smart, legally, right? What she should have done was pop her once, call the police. Because when the police got there, they would have got Romeca the attention she needed. And when she got her ass out the hospital, if there was a, TPO, protection order, whatever this stuff is y'all talking about, guess what? Her ass would have went to jail. That's how they go. You don't get to just take the law into your hand and feel like, oh, like, nah, because I got a TPO, I'm a finisher. Baby, you shot that baby 3 times, y'all. Come on now. Ebony says, right, not doing it for the cause, just to prove a point. Like, what? Right. Just making it but again, I ain't gonna hold you. I blame the LaTruth saga because if you pay attention, and this again, this could just play into human behavior, right? We are creatures of habit, right? And so a lot of us have been attached to this filthy ass saga for like 3 years. This was the 3rd year. Finally, people moving on and doing, other content or whatever, right? But a lot of people, like, in their mind, right? Everything is a saga. Everything has to be like how the LaTruth saga played out. And the crazy part is, for me, right, is you can tell that these are not real bloggers. And I'm not trying to be funny, right? You can tell that people ain't been blogging for very long. Because if you come on the scene, right? Like, let's be real, a lot of people created their platforms strictly because of the saga, the LaTruth saga, right? So in their mind, they think every story they touch, if other people touch on the story, now that's a saga. Now that's a sector. Now that's a competition. Now we got to make everything sides. Baby, I am so sorry. You are an amateur. I'm sorry. Like, for real. Everything don't have to be like this. You can very much touch on the story. I just told y'all with Carmelo, I got a little playlist. There might be, I don't know, 6 or 8 videos in there where I touch on the story as it makes sense. When there's a new update or something like that. When I do that, I put that in that playlist, right? That does not mean that now any other content creator that's reporting on Carmelo, whether they think he's innocent or guilty, I gotta go beef with them now because I feel like he innocent. Like, come on, y'all. It's just crazy. Everything don't gotta turn into a competition, a beef, a sector, a saga, or what. Just say your piece and move on. If you want to follow the story and keep updating on it, then do your thing. But it doesn't have to turn into a full-out war every time you decide to cover a story or touch a topic. Like, y'all, real life, go watch somebody else's opinion that opposes to y'all so you could be offended. There's got to be a diagnosis for that. Like, for real. That don't make sense. When I know that somebody is going to give an opposing opinion that's going to be triggering for me or bother me in some way, right? That I'm not genuinely going over there so that I can have an intelligent response or dialogue without feeling away. I'm not gonna go watch them, y'all. Period. That don't even make sense. Y'all intentionally watching people so you can go to your community wall and talk shit. Or so y'all can go do another live and rebuttal somebody else's live. Baby, listen, I'm telling you right now, you finna waste your motherfucking time if you do it to me. Because I promise you, I ain't even gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. So you wasting your time. I'm telling you right now, because when I do my commentary on whatever topic I'm talking about, that is just my point of view. That's it. It's not nothing personal. It's not nothing like, oh, I'm challenging you or I'm challenging your point of view. I want y'all to be able to see it from other perspectives and try to get an understanding for why some people have the passion that they have behind this topic, y'all, and why some people feel how they feel. And the bottom line here, I feel like the underlying issue here is the undertones of disrespect. Point blank and period. Stop being disrespectful. Just give your commentary, present your receipts, and that's it. Stop trying to compare. Stop trying to show proof that you was right and all other. Just do your commentary and move the fuck on. That's it. That shit is crazy to me. Miss Lisa says the saddest part, her son is never going to see his mama again. Right. Oh my goodness. And that's what I'm saying. So many people relate to this story in different ways. What if there's a mom in the chat that lost their son? Or what if there's someone in here that lost their mom? Like, come on, y'all. Upper says, shake my head, first Christmas without his mother. And he a young baby. Miss Lady says, that's what I do, actually remove myself, all the way removed. They show how they feel, very insensitive. And that's the thing, y'all. Y'all got to open y'all eyes, because it's what y'all don't understand is stories like this, when it comes to people's morals, beliefs, and people's character and who they really truly are, these are the type of situations that's going to show you what you need to know, baby. Whether you want to see it or not, this going to show you what you need to know. The thing that is mind-boggling for me, right? This is the perfect example of what they mean, like when they say people don't give a shit about you till you die, whether that's good or bad. People either going to uplift you and be like, oh, she was a great person, she was this, she was that, da, 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 or they're going to tear your ass down. Straight up, y'all. I'm telling you what I know. And it's so sad and it's disgusting, because a lot of the mouthpieces on YouTube that's talking against Romeca, they don't even fucking know Romeca. They literally got to go look for shit to demonize the girl because they don't know her. Which is crazy, because you taking extra footwork to go demonize somebody you don't even fucking know. For what? For what? What is the end goal? Unbelievable. Lisa says human one-on-one. That's what I'm saying, Lisa. Ashley Boy Mom says, and then keep saying she was coming for her baby, so she was protecting her baby. Child, that baby ain't have shit to do with it. To be honest with you, I'm gonna just hush, because I wasn't there. I'm gonna just hush. I'm a hush. Where's the proof and facts to back that claim, knowing damn well Romeca wasn't going for her baby? Right? Why would she? She had just dropped her baby off. Like, come on, y'all. Tasha says Ashley 100, because the judge lawyers is the ones not talking streets. They don't talk. They can go by the law. Absolutely. Cheryl says, as a human, I understand my mom is stage 4 and I'm going through something right now. See what I'm saying, Cheryl? And I'm very sorry to hear that. And that's what bro. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, listen, this is a horrible time for everybody right now. Whether people want to come on here and flex like it's all good and it's all together. Listen, y'all. Man, I'm just shaking my head. Like, I'm not getting paid right now, y'all. I told y'all that, right? My husband's in the military. We don't know if he's going to get paid on Friday. He's supposed to get paid on the Friday, but we don't know if it's going to happen, y'all, because the government is shut down. They pulling all the strings they can pull out the hat to try to make sure the military is still paid, and we still don't know if we're going to be paid. So you know what that means? Luckily, we have things set up and put aside, right, for rainy days and things like that, right? But all I'm going to say is you need to count your blessings, y'all. You need to count your blessings. Even with being in shitty circumstances, there are so many people going through things right now. And this is another thing, right? Y'all coming on here laughing about insensitive shit. When people are going through things the most, right? Whatever that is, whether it's the government shutdown, they finna lose a loved one, they just lost a job. I see so much content out here now where people are losing their jobs and things like that, like for no reason, because they laying off million. Companies are panicking, they're trying to save for a rainy day, all the other stuff, right? What y'all don't understand is when people are going through things, it could be something completely unrelated to this case. It starts making you sit down and ponder so many different things about life. I have 3 children, y'all. 3 children. My baby girl's birthday is Friday, Halloween. Luckily, I had already promised to take her to Disneyland in Paris, and I had already paid for it. So I'm taking my baby to Disneyland in Paris, and I don't even fucking know when me or my husband are going to get paid again. And you still got to show up, and you still got to put a smile on your face, and you still got to be there for your kids. And some of us are bloggers, and we take our channel serious and things like that. People got to still show up in life. So you think the crazy part is, right? Some of y'all quote unquote bloggers, people support you for whatever. They like your personality, they like the way you talk, the way you present your content, whatever, right? Imagine coming to your platform, right? Imagine I'm your supporter and I come on YouTube because I just need to breathe or I need to decompress or whatever, right? I'm just contemplating life. I'm stressed out. I'm trying to relax, whatever. And I come to your page because I like your page and I follow you and I support you. And this the fucking content you got on your page. You're laughing at the fact that a woman got shot down in the street, or you trying to justify it and say, well, she shouldn't have done this or she shouldn't have done that or whatever. How the fuck do you think you make your supporters feel? Now combine that with whatever they're going through and dealing with in real life. Do y'all understand being a vlogger or someone who's a content creator on a platform? Some people come to you for release. Some people come to be entertained. Some people come to you because you're a breath of fresh air. You're a lifeline for them. They want to be encouraged or they resonate with you for some reason. So imagine people come to you because they feel like they resonate with you, right? And you won't hear with this bullshit. And they've never seen you behave in this way, or they never thought or associated with you this type of behavior to excuse crime against blacks. It's crazy. Like we all out here, we want to riot. We got signs and shit about police killing black people, but then because it's another black woman, then it was, oh well, they was 2 bitches arguing over their baby father, so it's oh well. Like, come on, y'all. Oh, look at that. Ugh, wow. I'm sitting here trying to wrap my mind around how my favorite coworker's son unalived him on Friday in the most tragic way. See what I'm saying? Unbelievable. Ebony says Holly get to spend the holiday with her family, something she wanted to do so bad, and he still may not be with her for the holiday. Imagine that, Ebony. Imagine that. But they calling Romeca dumb because she fighting over a nigga. Well, imagine killing a bitch over a nigga and he dump your ass. Dumb or dumber? Oh, okay. Ciao. Sorry, Miss Lady says you never speak on the deceased. These people are crazy and they don't even know Romeca personally. Shake my head. Karma don't miss anyone. What you put out in the universe, it most definitely comes back. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, Josephine, welcome in, baby. Upper says you don't speak ill on the dead, especially on the dead that you don't even know. That's a violation. I'm trying to tell you. I don't even play like that. Dham says awesome commentary. Thank you, Dham. I appreciate that. Carol says hi. Hi, Carol. Yep, the tongue is powerful. Absolutely, Ebony. Chosen says the grocery store owners about to take a loss. When the grocery store raise their prices, everyone gonna be crying. Show is. I'm chosen. I'm telling you, it's so much other stuff going on right now. People not paying attention. They want to argue on YouTube, try to prove they the best vlogger on some shit they don't even know about for real. We all waiting on the facts. Just report on what's presented and move on, y'all. That shit is crazy. Unbelievable. Upper says a killer being bullied is crazy. No, no, for real. Especially when y'all was a duo. Thank you so much, Miss Foxy. I appreciate that, baby. I truly do. Hold on. I lost my spot. Hold up, y'all. Upper is so funny to me. The killer being bullied is crazy. No, for real. It really is. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, I found it now. Exactly. I haven't seen it earlier. Only thing I see is his people repeating what she put out herself. Right, Miss Foxy. Ebony says, then to say the eyewitness is lying sounds so crazy to me. Or exactly. And Upper was breaking that down really well too. If y'all didn't check out Upper's live earlier, go check it out. Dora says, scripture says the issue of life comes from the heart, whether it's good or bad. People don't realize that mouth is dangerous. Things speaking of the dead. I agree with you, Ashley. Absolutely. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be taken aback that people just don't be afraid. Like, people ain't scared of shit. Like, I'm like, it's just certain shit I'm not gonna do, baby. Like, I'm not gonna test the water, honey. No, ma'am. Uh-uh. No. Upper says, Ashley, you did your homework, baby. And did. Lisa says she took that girl life, selfish ass helpful. Yeah, but right. And girl out here promoting her damn OnlyFans. Girl, okay. Yeah. Okay, girl. Lisa says, I have no respect for anybody taking anybody's life, period. Especially over some petty shit. Like, girl, and then people like, well, Romeca was antagonizing people and she was getting into it. Hello? First of all, niggas got a type, okay? Let's just put that out there. Okay? It take two to tango. Romeca wasn't arguing by herself. Okay, so do that mean that Holly should have got shot in her face? I mean, I'm just asking. Upper says now people saying Team Holly and Team Romeca, like, child, please spare me. No, for real. I heard you saying that too. I'm like, wow. But that just got to show you the mentality. I'm telling you, like, it's the mentality. Everything got to be teams. Thank you, D Ham. I appreciate you so much. I really do. Miss Lady says they just want to keep confusion going. Upper shake my head, makes no sense. Every day he ain't got no video. No, for real, Sean. He was up there on that panel talking about, okay, nigga, please. It don't take weeks to drop no video. Your ass probably on AI right now trying to come up with some shit. Boy, go ahead. It's Team Truth, period. Exactly, Miss Lady. There is no sidearm for right. Meeks didn't deserve that, period. I'm sorry. Ashley Boy Mom says some don't need a weapon at all. If you're that scared and trigger happy, you can't kill everybody based off the reasons some give. What message that's sending? Right. Ebony says they want to see if Carlos really tried to do everything he could to defuse the situation because Carlos is still the little boy daddy, she said, but Q basically said pay him for it. Child, Q look like he stank. He just trying to make a few dollars. Jail. Ain't nobody, child, bye. And pranking the lies is foolish. Miss Foxy says it's the people hollering, people bothering them. Like, where is that happening at? Or maybe I don't see it. I don't see it either, Miss Foxy. But to be honest, girl, I ain't looking for it. Girl, what you gotta understand with this social media, people be creating shit. Shout out to Auntie Pimo. Her word is manufacturing beef. Like, for real. People be making up shit. Like, for outrage and shock value. Y'all gotta understand, people be rage baiting like a motherfucker, for real. Just for no damn reason. Rage baiting shit. They just like, what? Where you get that from? When that happened? How the hell you only seen it? They are really in competition with themselves. Right, Kim? Tasha says it's all law and common sense. Something them people don't know or have. Justice for Meeks. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Even that's what it's just crazy. Like, you can have a heart for other like police brutality against black people, but you can't have it when it comes to black on black. Like, come on, y'all. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And I think that's the problem. And that's why the fucking LaTrue saga went on so long, because people couldn't see what the facts were, or they refused to accept the facts. They wanted to make it a war and a back and forth and all that for, to be capitalizing and shit. Like, it's just corny. Ebony says, stop caring about what we saying, because we for sure not bullying Holly. Let people say what they want on their panel. Absolutely, Ebony. Farrell says, I lost my first cousin back in 2004 for mistaken identity. Wow. The guy is still in jail right now, and the guy he was looking for to Pow Pow is still alive. Wow. Wow, wow. I'm so sorry, Cheryl. Hey, Tanya. Welcome in, baby. Bad company, correct, good character. I can no longer sit in those rooms. I don't blame you, Kim. Look what you heard, baby. Birds of a feather. Huh. Y'all seen my post. And when you start realizing that your morals and values and belief align with people who are like known to be cruel and evil and shit, baby, it is worth stopping and reflecting. And I mean that shit. That right there would have been a red flag for me. Like, hold on, maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I need to rethink this, honey. No, ma'am. Ebony says probably ain't even gonna look for it. Somebody probably sent it to him. Child, I don't believe that shit. And the way they play on the line and manipulating shit, I don't believe shit like that. No, it's taking too long. Moxie said, my friend is from Chicago and covers drill music. She states there's a lot of politics in Chicago. She lost 3 relatives to gang wars. Yeah, and that's a big thing. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like for people to make light of this when we've seen, well, I ain't gonna say we've seen, but like basically the pieces that we have are horrible. They are terrible. And for people to justify it, especially knowing what the crime is like in Chicago, like literally you could lose your life innocently in Chicago. You ain't even gotta be doing shit wrong. There's been kids, a lot of kids who have lost their lives in Chicago just trying to come home from school or something because they get crossed up in a gang war or some shit like that. So now you got a situation where somebody literally shot somebody down in the street. And it's like, well, she shouldn't have been doing this. She shouldn't have turned around. She shouldn't have said this. Well, she was arguing with somebody 3 years ago. Well, she said this to this person. And no, what? Are you for real? You motherfuckers come on here and argue with people every week. Do you deserve to be shot down in the street? Like, come on, y'all. Like, for real. Like, let's stop. For real. Right. Count your blessings because everyone is a circumstance away from a pantry or unemployment line. Absolutely. So neat. Baby, I'm so blessed. I promise you. I am so blessed, y'all, because I ain't seen a check in a month, honey. I ain't seen one in a month. God is good to me, and I am grateful. Hey, Robin, baby. Welcome in. My baby brother was also killed. Oh, no. Hold on. I lost that one. Hold on. Let me go back. My baby brother was also killed in false self-defense claim. Shake my head and let me say this. Staying on this case matters and will help. Wow, boy, mom. You know what? Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm very sorry for your loss because that is going to motivate those of us who are trying to seek, the truth and not just try to be on here competing and rubbing shit in people's faces and trying to want. Like, it's not even that serious. Like, some people really do want the truth. And, me and my husband, child, we talk about everything. Like, no shade, we should do a live together. But we were talking about how like I just had a very long conversation with one of my daughters because she did something that I didn't like. And so I was trying to tell her, like, when me or your dad ask you to do something, it's for your good in the long run, right? So when we tell you to do something and then you cheat, right? Or you take a shortcut or some shit like that, you only shortchanging yourself in the long run. And so I was breaking down to her, like, us as Black people, right? And Black culture. I told her a lot of us, I said, and I had to explain it to her. I said, people get offended when people call when they're called ignorant, right? So I was telling her, I said the actual definition of someone who is ignorant is someone who lacks knowledge about something, right? So I was telling her, I said, it's nothing cute about a woman who is dumb or an ignorant ass woman, right? I said, but when I say that to you, it sounds like I'm being offensive when really that's literally the definition. So it's no excuse for you not to have the information you want. So I was giving her examples, right? Like, people want to be entertained, but they don't want to seek knowledge when situations happen. They want to hear a couple pieces here, a couple rumors there, and then run with a narrative. And you will be up a fucking creek because you don't want to take the time to do research, or you don't want to read, or you don't want to find out what shit actually means. You just want to be right. Right? So that's why I said, and I was explaining that to her. Of course, it was in context of what I was telling her about, but I was trying to explain to her, like, we asked you to do certain things for your greater good. And right now, the world is in shambles. And if you do not do your research and be a smart person and not an ignorant person in life, people can take advantage of you and they can pull the wool over your eyes. And I started giving her real life examples. I talked about this case. I talked about what's going on with the government shutdown, all type of shit, so that she could put it into perspective. Like, I'm trying to help you out. It's just crazy. Like, us as Black people, we really stinking grown, 30, 40 plus. and won't do a little bit of reading or a little bit of research. We just want to be right. We want to argue the point. We want to argue street sense. Well, if it was you, you would have did this and you would have, like, nobody give a fuck about none of that. What does the law say? What do the law say? Nobody asks like what you would do and all that. And if your ass would do it, you'd be in the same predicament as Holly. Period. The fuck? People out here giving badass advice and all type of shit. And I was telling my kids that too. I'm like, and you got to make sure you check your sources because your source could be fucked up too. You got to do your research or people will get over on you. Like, come on now. Real Talk says, hey, Ash, thanks for advocating, Queen. You are so welcome, baby. Ebony says, Ashley Chats, we take things for granted sometimes. Absolutely. All of us do. Absolutely. Actually, my son is stationed in Germany and he has the same concern. You see, I'm telling you, Tanya, it's real out here. We got they ended up paying us for his 15th check, but we don't know if he's gonna get paid Friday. We just have to wait and see. And if he don't, we just gotta roll with it. It's just crazy. Shore, hey baby, welcome in. Imagine having the same last name past 40. These motherfuckers, no, for real. Real Talk says they disrespected that woman. I already hadn't dealt with many on YouTube in months. Minute this occurred, I ran to that family to give any aid I could. Shout out to you, Real Talk. Terry says, Ashley Chats, that's why I made a post of Los Holly with people from a different ethnic group asking what they have in common yesterday on my community wall, period. Terry be going in, honey. I love me some Terry. He don't spare nothing, okay? Terry gonna tell you how you feel, baby. Evan A says we need to start being more thankful for the small little things, being able to walk, talk, have food in the fridge, being able to shower when we want, not being told. I'm telling you, Evan A, I did a video about that recently. Like people getting Botox. That's a real popular thing right now. I had no idea that like the how toxic or poisonous it is. And I was sharing like how there were some people who like they have actual nerve damage, neurological damage and stuff. Again, lack of knowledge. You want to look good, but you don't understand the risks that come with that. But us as black people, we don't give a fuck. We just, we just want it to be what it is. Period. The price of food is already ridiculous. You ain't lying. Tell. And my kids eat, baby. I'm like, Lord. I just watched Upper Live and agree with every word she said, period. I can't wait to get off so I can go finish it. Let me see who else. All right, I just want to do these last couple notes with y'all because I know some of y'all might have other stuff to do. It's late for me here, and I know some of y'all probably getting closer to the end of your workday or whatever. So, and you may not be able to stay for too much longer. So I do want to make a couple more points and then I'll finish going through some of the comments real quick. So anyway, so it went on to say, from a psychological perspective, this shows a transition from defensive reaction to deliberate act, meaning the shooter wasn't reacting to a threat at that point. They were asserting control or finalizing the act. Even outside the legal lens, the psychological undertone is heartbreaking. Acts like this reveal an intense emotional loss of control, one rooted in resentment, pride, or a need to assert power. It says the attempt to shape how the victim is remembered shows how perpetrators often try to manage guilt and perception instead of facing the reality of what they've done. And that reminded me of when Q was on Upper's panel. Every time Upper or Ebony would present a fact, he'd be like, yeah, but you don't know Romeca. You don't know how she used to be or how she give it up or da-da-da-da. And that when I read that, I was like, yo, that makes perfect sense. The attempt to shape how the victim is remembered shows how perpetrators often try to manage guilt and perception instead of facing the reality of what they've done. And I remember Ebony saying, well, you originally said this and that wasn't true. And he was like, yeah, so, like blowing it off. And then she was like, but then you also said this and that wasn't true. Yeah, so what? So what? We figured out the facts. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so how is it so hard to believe that this motherfucker obviously is not credible? How the fuck you fuck up two really important details and you blowing it off like you still credible and somebody's supposed to believe what the fuck you're talking about? And you being disrespectful. Look, I feel like the key giveaway, right, to when someone is full of shit is when they can't have dialogue. if I know I'm not a lying ass bitch, and I can stand on what I say I believe and all that, I ain't gonna be cutting you off every 3 seconds and trying to make excuses and deflect from what we're talking about. Every time Ebony, and she was being respectful. She was like, "Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?" And he was just, just cutting her off. Cutting. I said, "Baby, I got to go." I cut it off. I couldn't even finish. I couldn't even finish. I'm like, damn, it's just crazy. Like, and that's so unnecessary. If he felt like Holly is so innocent, right? He's for Holly, right? Then what is the need for the disrespect? You should be able to sit in your seat, stand your, hold your position and say what the facts are or what you believe that they are. You don't got to be disrespectful. You don't got to cut nobody off. You can have dialogue. And that's what I loved about Upper, because she definitely told him, like, look, don't come out here with that bullshit. So I was like, oh, this gonna be good. And then he came up there and Upper was respectful. She ain't even cuss his ass out. She was just like, okay, Q, this is what I don't like that you doing. I see you doing this, and I feel like that's disrespectful. I feel like that's wrong. Da 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 da. So how is it so hard for people to understand that they may feel like they can resonate with maybe how Upper is presenting information versus someone else? Because at least she had respect, because Upper is secure in her stance, right? And how she feels like justice for Romeca. Q is obviously a complete op of Romeca for whatever reason that he still couldn't answer, because she kept saying, what is your issue with Romeca? He could never answer that, right? But as passionate as she feels about justice for Romeca, she still gave this man respect on her fucking platform. She could have been disrespectful, but you know why she didn't need to? Because it doesn't change her stance. It doesn't change the facts that she's presenting, the laws that she's reading off, or none of that. Because when you are freaking coming from a place of truth, you can stand in that truth and you're secure in it. You ain't gotta be disrespectful. You ain't gotta overtalk nobody. You ain't gotta try to be a bully. That's what a real bully is. You ain't gotta do all that. You can still be like, you know what? I heard her saying, like, I hear you, but what about this? Okay, I get that. Okay, I could see it that way. Like, she really was being reasonable and respectful. Like, come on. Anyway, so then I was curious, and because people kept saying, "Oh, it's just two bitches fighting over a nigga. That's stupid." Da 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 da. Right? Here's what it said about that. When two women are in conflict over a man, especially if there's jealousy, competition, or public humiliation involved, the face becomes a symbolic target. Because I wanted to know how that played into the face shot as well, right? It says it represents beauty, femininity, social worth, and desirability. So, in that context, shooting someone in the face can be seen as a way to attack or destroy the qualities the shooter envied or felt threatened by. Ding, ding, ding. Hello, for those in the back. So, in that context, shooting someone in the face can be seen as a way to attack or destroy the qualities the shooter envied or felt threatened by. Hmm. Then it says if the shooter felt less chosen or replaced by the other woman, the violence becomes an attempt to regain control over her self worth by destroying the person she perceives as the threat. Hello, mic drop. For those in the back, if the shooter felt less chosen or replaced, hello, didn't she get dumped right after the murder? That's what y'all said, right? That he dumped her? Are they not together? That's a speculation. Okay, so it says if the shooter felt less chosen or replaced by the other woman, the violence becomes an attempt to regain control over her self worth by destroying the person she perceives as the threat. Hello. In cases where two women are fighting over a shared partner, we don't know if they shared them, but they had the same baby daddy, right? A shot to the face often indicates extreme personal hatred, desire to dominate the emotional narrative, quote unquote, to have the last word, loss of control fueled by pride and pain. And this kind of act is rarely impulsive self defense, it's emotional possession, an attempt to alienate the rival's identity and image, especially when that image triggers insecurity. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? Shot to the face when two women are sharing a partner or there is a shared partner involved indicates extreme personal hatred, desire to dominate the emotional narrative, such as to have the last word, loss of control fueled by pride and pain. And this kind of act is rarely impulsive self defense. It's an emotional possession, an attempt to alienate the rival's identity and image, especially when the image triggers insecurity. So then I also asked about the OnlyFans thing, right? And it says promoting an OnlyFans page during public outrage suggests a transactional mindset. Quote unquote, if people are already watching me, I might as well make money off of it. And that can indicate low empathy or moral disengagement, where the person rationalizes behavior without concern for optics or ethics. Hello. That does not align with somebody, y'all, that acted in self defense. I don't care what way you spin it. Um, and then I also said, because they were saying Romeca was bullying, da 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 da, or whatever, but I said it was mutual. It says if it wasn't a case of one sided bullying, but mutual conflict, both women arguing, clapping back, and engaging in back and forth tension, then the she snapped because she was bullied defense doesn't hold up psychologically, legally, or morally. I think I rest my case. For the people in the back, I'll read the last one again. If it wasn't a case of one sided bullying, which we know it wasn't, everybody, even the people who for Holly, for Romeca, whatever, everybody has said they was both arguing allegedly over this nigga. It was two baby mamas fighting over a nigga, right? Which makes it mutual. Okay. But rather mutual conflict, both women arguing, clapping back, and engaging in back and forth tension, then the she snapped because she was bullied defense doesn't hold up psychologically, legally, or morally, y'all. Point blank and period. Y'all seen it. Some of us done took motherfuckers to court and the shit ain't held up even with proof. Okay? So please miss me with that bullshit about, oh, she was bullied. She was bullied, so it justifies her shooting this girl in the face. Come on now. I'm sorry, y'all. It's gonna fall flat. I'm sorry. So I hope y'all got something for this from this live. I'm not gonna hold y'all much longer. I think I made my point. Let me look through a few more of these comments before I get off because I don't want y'all to think that I overlooked y'all. Creesha said Holly misused her TPO. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. Let me read some more comments and I'm gonna get up off here. Upper says, now I hear people talk about Holly softer, how Holly softer if she the killer. I'm just through. No, for real. Not just the killer girl. This motherfucker shot like she from the mob. When I was talking to my girls, y'all probably listen. I was telling my girls, I was like, do y'all know like that's how they like that's the way that is hit style killing, y'all. Motherfuckers shoot you in your face. That's some shit like you owed them some money, you fucked up their family, this a revenge hit, some shit like that. You don't just go around shooting people in the face, y'all. And they'd be like, oh, she was bullied. So it's justified because she shot her in the face. She was bullied. Come on now. Real Talk says this isn't a game. They follow everyone, listen to one person, then go run and repeat the nonsense. That's it. That's it. Upper says Chicago, they'll give you a gun license as long as you haven't been in a mental institution in the last year. I think they should just give full blown psychiatric eval. No, for real. And you know what? That is shocking and appalling, Upper, because considering the crime level in Chicago, they should definitely make it a lot harder. Like, that's crazy. Unbelievable. Real Talk says they jealous of Romeca, jealous of her style, color, her personality, and aura. They act like people don't change, try to deceive this lady as a bad. Meanwhile, people act up and cut up on social media every day. So I still don't understand how that would justify this girl, you know what I'm saying, losing her life. That's crazy. Real Talk says, I told them this not no stupid divorce. A life was taken. Reality check to the ones who think this is a saga or attached like one. No, for real. Ebony says, Q ain't got no tape. Y'all right. Because David Brown already said nobody has the video except the people. Exactly. And not only that, Ebony, like you really think he going to be on here talking about he got some evidence like that and the police ain't contacting him? They'll be on his fucking neck. Like, come on now. That's why I said, like, y'all, these people are just being ridiculous at this point, for real. And that's why I get to laughing and giggling when Upper be calling people ignorant and all that shit. Because no, for real, like you again, like I was explaining to my daughter earlier, if you act like you have lack of knowledge or lack of common sense, I am sorry, that does align with the traits of being ignorant. Like being for real. Like that's literally the definition. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just say, I picked this side because this is a side I want to pick, or I chose to pick a side, or I chose to be an advocate, or whatever. Like, whatever. Just say that. But don't just try to act like you really arguing the point, but then ignoring all the facts. Like, come on now. The law is the law. And I'm sure people don't look it up. Hey, Poo Poo Nana. What's up, baby? Real Talk says, I hit the unsubscribe on 4 channels. I block anything saying Holly. I just don't want the negativity on my phone. I don't blame you. Real Talk says, yes, Ashley, clearly they do. They said lawyers told them to get a firearm and shoot to kill. I never heard that. Girl, God. I cannot. Justice for Romeca. Thank you so much, Robin. Upper Reloaded says, I remember I was walking to my kid's school to go pick him up, and I was walking, I heard gunshots, and I had to run to their school. Came back, a dead body was on the ground. See what oh my God. Chill. Listen. Ooh, honey. Hey, Tammy Harper. Upper says, so when people worry about why I'm passionate, I live in the city and I see it every day. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not even there. And I've heard so many heartbreaking stories about Chicago. And it's like, I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. And for people to make light of it, it's just mind blowing. I don't get it. The stuff I saw in the city, I don't want to see. Right, Sabrina? Telling you, New York will hem your ass up too. Listen. Huh. Upper says, but it's easy for people that don't live in the environment to speak on the culture that they know nothing about. Right. And that's why I'm saying, and again, that's where it comes in with the content creator etiquette, right? Like certain things you should know when you should just be quiet, right? Because like it's not your community, right? And not to say that you can't have an opinion because it's not your community, but I'm just saying like you should consider that when you're giving a perspective or you're weighing in on something, right? Because you got people who are right there. Just like you were saying earlier in your live, like how people were, I guess, discrediting a witness or whatever, but then saying that the other lady that was, you know, saying that she had a witness that nobody heard of or seen, or like some shit she was reading, like they were saying that was more credible. And to me, that's an obvious bias because how you gonna read? Like she could have wrote that shit herself. And not saying that she did, right? But I'm just saying it's like you can't just go off hearsay. Do y'all know motherfuckers lie? Like people understand that they need clicks and views and engagement and things like that, right? So people will say whatever, and especially when it's a hot case or it's viral or it's trending, people get in a tug of war even if they appear like they're not. People will literally do certain things trying to get attention or trying to get motion or whatever, and they'll say whatever they got to say to get people up in their chat or to get up in their videos. So it's crazy, like you were saying, like to dismiss an actual witness, and you were even saying like that's a felony to lie to the police and all. Like again, speaking from facts, that is something that you can look up and verify. Not some hearsay from a fucking YouTuber you've never heard of in your life, and you saying her witness is more credible. Like that don't even make sense. If anything, just say you believe both witnesses. But to try to say one witness is not credible, but another one is, and the one you believe is hearsay, that don't even make sense, y'all. That's why I say it's stuff you see. Sometimes you just have to sit shit out, right? Like you just have to be quiet. You just have to be quiet, especially when you don't know or you feel a way and it can come off offensive or can rub people the wrong way. Like you should just swallow that, right? Because if you really care about your platform or you care about hurting people in real life, because we are humans and we are real people, right? Like you will understand, like, although I know what I mean by this or what my intent is by this, it may be offensive to someone or it may hurt people because this is a very touchy topic or this is a very touchy subject, right? But then you got people who don't give a fuck. So then that changes everything. So Boy mom says, but they trying to shut all supporters' family up, but to stay on the justice system. Romeca's death won't be silenced. Absolutely, boy mom. And that's another thing, right? I'm glad you say that, right? Because I feel like the case definitely needs attention, but again, you just have to do it with couth, right? Like you can present the facts, you can discuss it and have healthy discussions or debates about it and still respect the case, still respect the family and things like that and leave the sensitive parts out. Have empathy and compassion or get your ass offline. It's just that simple. Like I don't understand why that's so hard to understand. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, and especially like I heard somebody saying the mom or somebody was begging and pleading, or the sister or something was like, please don't use her images of her on the ground. Like, why did somebody even have to say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, people really out here like talking about like, child, it's just too much. It's just insensitive. God never said everyone would have knowledge or wisdom. It's embedded in some of us. Absolutely, real talk. Let me see. I scroll back up, but which comment? Oh, you're talking to somebody. Real talk says that's right. It's why the law was created to use for times like this. Absolutely. And they're going to look at this, I promise you. Miss Foxy says, or just keep reposting what people put on the internet. Right. Knowing how the internet play. That's why I said, like, I've gotten so irritated because there's been other stories, not this one, but just in the past, like of me doing commentary or whatever. I'll see something and think it's a legit source and find out later it's bullshit. Hey, Felicia, welcome in, baby. Welcome in, Queen Fee. Much love to you. Um, and it's crazy because again, and when that would happen, I would get so frustrated and I would immediately remove the content because I find out it's not accurate. It's not, true. Although it presented as true and people were spreading it, like the shit with there was that clip that was going around of the boxer. I forgot her name. That's beefing with y'all know who I'm talking about. The lady that stole the other lady husband. Shit, I forgot her name. Remy Ma, the girl. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Up or hate her ass. The boxer. Anyway, there was a clip going around, and she was like, "Yeah, I just went up there and did this, and she ain't do nothing." And da 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 da. And people were saying that was to Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla, right? So I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. So I started reporting on it, only to find out that wasn't to Layla. That was to a whole nother lady, right? So I took it down, but I was frustrated. But again, that comes with being a vlogger. So if you're really going to be honest and you care about your platform, you should verify your source. Or if you put it out there and you find out it's wrong, take it down. You know what I'm saying? Because now you don't look credible, or you don't seem credible, or you look biased, or like you just a fucking liar for clicks and views. It's not worth it. It goes against your credibility as a person, as a reputation, and as a brand online. Ain't nobody fucking with that. They find out that you just a liar or that you just out here for money or clicks and views. Ain't nobody fooling with you like that. Mr. Vine says the law didn't cover Carlos' home. The PO didn't cover what if. Shake my head. Right. And see, that's something else. I didn't even think about that. That's a whole nother angle. Miss Lady says, so far, Keys and Upper is coming with research and receipts. No disrespect to anyone, but that's a fact. Period. That's why I said I'm gonna start checking out Keys. Sabrina says, you ain't lying. I want my mom to move from NYC so bad. No, for real. And I have to go to NYC once or twice a year. It's my grandma up there. So true. Be thankful for the small things. Will have you feeling peaceful. Absolutely, Sabrina. Real Talk says she committed a felony. Man, woman do not have no record. Sure, didn't obtain one that day. Ashley and stated Holly chased Romeca around the car. Child, it's just been so many freaking theories. And when it get like that, I tap out because I don't want to hear all the theories. I just want to hear the facts. Like, what do the official report say? Fuck all this other like bullshit. Like, people come up with shit all day long. We learned that from Q with his line ass. Real Talk says that's why I told Edmund to go off on him. Upper, he playing in their face. We not playing at all about this case at all. Upper says, oh yeah, most definitely. I respect those who respect me, but the moment you disrespect me, it's on and pop and respect me. I respect you. Baby, Upper be ready for the smoke and I'll be dead. When he start twisting his hair and smiling. No, for real. Just like a ain't shit nigga. Just lying. Huh? What? I ain't say that. Boy, go ahead. Miss Lady says, I believe that they are doing that for social media. Not sure though, Ashley. It's possible. Real Talk says, you can tell Tree by the fruit that it bears. This is exactly how I see these folks screaming Romeca wrong, etc. Right. Without the facts. That's ooh, child. That's crazy. Upper says, yep, just like Carlos made of music video trying to profit off of her. Unbelievable. I heard that live too. I was just shaking my head. I was just shaking my head because I'm like, just disrespect at all angles. It's just crazy to me. Like, how the fuck do you have the strength to make music and your baby mama's dead? Like, what? I'll be concerned. Like, what about my son? What am I gonna tell my son? Like, wow, that hell. I just feel so bad for that baby because, child, if he stuck with his father, Lord have mercy. Mm. Ashley, great live. Your voice is powerful like uppers. Thank you so much, Miss Lady. Real Talk says took them to court, but used the law while still fighting with their respondents. Is why they don't understand the case so far, for real, right? Well, and no shade, like our community, our culture, like we don't take shit like that serious. Like obviously, like I hate to say that, but like people be thinking that the law don't apply to them. Like it's just crazy until that shit do. Like they think that they can just, oh, what a law say it is, so they gonna twist it and make it into something that it's not. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not what they meant. Like that's crazy. And what's crazy, Q didn't go on Gary Coleman live talking about a take. Chill. Real talk says people talking folks falling out. I'm not falling out. Once you show me your true character is by no love, no hate. I wish you well. I wish they stop saying we falling out with people. Right. That's true. People are just heartless. Right, Parker girl. Real talk says Ash Upper and Ebony heard this about the lawyers too. We're still grasping for air. Wow. Um Real talk says Chicago has a black owned was a black owned city full of money and life. Our people work today. I'm not from it, but I've traveled this world and I know the real history of this country. I ain't going to, man, please. Chicago too fucking cold for me. Child, please. I went there one time. I was like, oh, hell no. No, ma'am. And I'm from New York. I'm like, bitch, this is a different type of cold. Like, New York is cold, but bitch, please. Not, it ain't Chicago cold. Mm-mm. No. Miss Lady said the things I hear come out. Some of these content creators' mouths probably don't know what the word "coof" means. That's true, Miss Lady. It's possible. Clarissa Shields crashing out bad. She is, and that horrible ass wig she had on. I was like, child, she ain't got no friends. Lord have mercy. Clarissa, I think she's slow a little bit, but I'm gonna just let her be great. I think she a little. Y'all seen that? It was like a meme or a TikTok. They was like, y'all ever met somebody and you be like, you slow a little bit, right? Like that's what I think when I see Clarissa. Like just trying to hear her talk and shit. Like some ain't right, y'all. She done got hit a couple times or something, cause yeah, some is not right. Tasha said she need mental health. I don't know, y'all. I be side eyeing Clarissa, no shade. Real Talk says he do need to sit this one out, and others they jumped in with no knowledge of 9/8/25, no police reports in hand, no evidence, facts, no speaking to folks who witnessed it or the family. That's true, but you know what? That's just the nature of content creation, unfortunately. Like it's just become so normal for people to just come on here and say whatever and spew whatever because what y'all don't understand is a lot of content creators, especially ones who do it all the time or make it a part of their brand, they understand that people are ignorant and gullible and that they can tell them anything because they're blind sheep, right? There are so many people like that literally have people who are literal followers, like for real, like literally followers. They follow content creators around or influencers around, and whatever the influencer or content creator spews out, they believe it automatically just off of this blind ass loyalty, right? And that's why I've spoken on it so many times on my platform. Like people need to understand what loyalty really actually is and what it means, because y'all be calling shit loyalty that is fucking insanity. Okay, there is a difference, right? You can be loyal and still call somebody out on they shit or understand, like, you know what, this is where it ends for me. Girl, I'll catch you when you're doing some other content. Cause yeah, no, I'm not loyal to you. I'm not loyal enough to follow your ass to hell, right? I'm not loyal enough to sit and laugh about somebody being deceased or trying to help you gas up the fact that somebody took somebody's life and act like I'm okay with that just because I'm loyal to you. Bitch, who are you? The fuck? We're not even related. The fuck, you are fucking on YouTube. Are you kidding me? Like y'all be bugging for real. Like it's crazy to me. But what I want people to understand is content creators who do shit like that regularly or build their platforms around that type of shit, they understand that people are blind, dumb, gullible, and ignorant followers who literally just want to feel like they are part of some shit. And even if in their mind, they heart, they gut, they soul, they know that that shit wrong, they ain't gonna never voice it. They just gonna be quiet and sit in the show and enjoy it because they gotta feel like they are part of something. It means that much to them. And that's what I was pointing out with Brianna ass today, and how you can tell she don't got no fucking control of her personal life because she come on the internet trying to throw her muscle around to try to throw her weight around to try to prove she top dog. And bitch, she is donkey of the motherfucking day. Matter of fact, she is donkey of the fucking internet. Cause the clown shit she do on here, she should be fucking ashamed of herself. 24 to 48 hours ago, she was on here shaking her ass in a see-through ass dress. This bitch got 6 kids. 3 of them are girls. And they're going to see that fucking video. You think it's going to go away? You are sadly mistaken. Trying to get a nigga attention that still ain't paying you no fucking attention. That's that corny shit right there. The crazy part is people that's hollering Holly is justified in self-defense and all that. Some of y'all were the same ones saying that Breonna was wrong for falsely calling the cops on the truth, and he could have lost his life and coulda, shoulda, woulda. And don't fucking like Breonna behind that shit indefinitely. But y'all gonna justify Holly. Oh, okay. Got it. Wow. Wow. That's funny. Let me see. Ebony says, and Keys will be showing the medical examiner report. I can't wait. I'm gonna look him up tonight and look at some of his content. I've seen him on my thing a couple times, but I just haven't clicked because his lives be long as shit, y'all. I ain't got that kind of time, but I'm gonna try to I definitely want to hear about that medical examiner report when he do it. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna try to catch up on some of the other ones. Real Talk says all this asking why Romeca not here is mad disrespectful. Like the nation knows why she isn't here anymore. She was shot 3 times, lost her life to gun violence for what? Right, literally for nothing. I'm Chosen says all subject Grayson found guilty of second-degree murder. Yes, my husband told me that right before I went live. He was like, I don't know if you want to report on this or not. I was like, nah, I haven't really been following it. Like I've been following it, but I haven't been reporting on it on my channel. So no, but yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I'm Chosen. Boy mom says you're not lying, Ashley. Some damn followers shake my head. No, for real. No, for real. And then Miss Lady says facts, Brianna is disappointed to her children and family. Yes, I said it. Hot ass man. She is. She is. And it's crazy. We can call her out though for her being wrong because she was finna do, she could have possibly got a black man unalive. But here we got a whole black woman with a baby, a little boy. Wow. Lost her life, shot down in the street over what? We don't fucking know, but it had to be over some petty shit. Got shot in the face and it's justified because she shouldn't have pulled up or she shouldn't have turned around or she shouldn't have got out of the car or she shouldn't have got back in the car or she shouldn't, like, it just all this bullshit that don't even fucking matter. Crazy. And everybody got kids. Huh. Somebody take you from your kids. I wonder if you got the same energy. Real Talk says, how you loyal to strangers, especially a killer? No, for real. Crazy. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up off here. It is 11:42 p.m. here in Germany. I know it's probably like dinner time for a lot of y'all, depending on where y'all at. So anyway, I hope we're all able to get something from this live. Hear my lion ass go. Talking about I was only gonna be on here for a few minutes. Here we are, 2 hours later. But I do love y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming through. Thank you for the super chat, super stickers I got and received. I really appreciate y'all very much. I did want to share that with y'all though, because I was very curious about what the face shot actually meant in this case and what it could stand for psychologically. So I wanted to share that with y'all, just to kind of give y'all just a little bit more perspective on the case and just the severity of it and just how completely atrocious it was that this girl lost her life and one of the shots being to her face. It just meant so much that people not paying attention to. So hopefully y'all caught most of the live or were in here for most of the live. If not, definitely catch the replay so you can hear some of the breakdowns and things that I found. And I hope y'all continue to protect your peace. Anything that is triggering for you, please just detach yourself. You don't need to get into a battle, a back and forth. You don't got to disrespect nobody. You don't got to disrespect the dead. You don't got to disrespect, people's families, platforms, any of that. Right. Please consider that regardless of who you feel like you on the side or right, like you supporting Holly or you supporting Romeca or whatever. At the end of the day, y'all, these are families um that one has lost somebody and one is going to lose somebody. Hope y'all know. Okay. If the law do what it's supposed to do, baby, another family is going to lose another family member for a number of years, respectfully. Luckily, she will not be shot in her face, but she most definitely will be putting on that orange jumpsuit if the law prevails the way that it should. So, with that being said, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Hopefully, I was not offensive. I was not trying to be, but the truth simply is what it is. So, I do appreciate all the love and support. I hope that you were able to resonate. Sabrina says, Lord, this child in here acting up over a costume I can't deal. Oh, no. Real Talk says Keys would love you on his panel, Ash and others, baby. Oh, really? I didn't know he had people. Well, I think I did see a clip where he had people on his panel. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Real Talk. It's a very. This story is just so. It's very triggering for me. I will check out his lives though and see, what the vibe is, and obviously, if there is something I could contribute or whatever, if I feel that there's a need, I would not be opposed to that. But I just it's just a very tricky topic, and what I don't want is to um like hurt the family any more than they need to be, if that makes sense, right? Like it's just hard and painful, and I'm sure they're probably trying to tune it out, but I'm sure the families are listening to what's being said about their family members. So I would definitely check it out and see if there's something that I could contribute that would make sense, but otherwise I would definitely at least be supporting his channel to find out what his perspective is. I have a good idea, but I haven't watched the content yet. Tasha says, thank you, Ashley, Moz, and chat. I've enjoyed. Thank you so much for coming through. For Love Cat, AC, and chat, I don't believe Los and Q were ever a couple. He just made a mistake and got her pregnant. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, that's very common. So, girly with no apologies. Wonderful live. Ashley, thank you so much. Miss Lady says he's very unbiased. He brings receipts, Ashley. I'm going to definitely check him out, y'all. I am, for sure. And I'll make sure I comment under there and let him know that y'all told me to check him out. So again, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to jump this live. Thank y'all so much for chilling with me. I apologize. It was a little bit longer than usual, but hopefully you got something from the live, and I will catch you guys on my next one, whenever that will be. Y'all be great. Go catch Uppers replay, and yeah, protect your peace. I love y'all. Talk to y'all later.